Hi, welcome to Q&A Wednesdays where I answer your questions. I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs, and I'm also a legal document assistant LDA based in the greater Los Angeles area. Today, the question is, how do I handle a high conflict divorce? Before I go into things, I just need you to be prepared. If your divorce is truly high conflict, it's not probably going to be done in 6 months or less time. Remember, there's a minimum of 6 months and 1 day, and you have to wait before you can finalize your divorce in California. But it doesn't mean that you can't agree on all of the terms prior to that date. When you're facing a high conflict divorce, though, things tend to drag out. Things prolong and they last a long time. Typically in a high conflict divorce, you're fighting over kids or you're fighting over money, right? And I mean it a little differently, right? When we're dealing with divorce and we have any sort of conflict, we're fighting over kids and money. But what's high conflict is people are changing the rules, they're changing the game, they're refusing to agree with you, they're agreeing, they're going back on their agreements, they're dragging it out, they've reached a settlement agreement, now they've taken you to court, they're not telling you everything on their disclosures, they're hiding money, they're trying to bleed you dry, they're trying to get you to, exhaust yourself with attorney fees so you just give up. If they've got specialists on the cases, a mediator, a counsel for the children, attorneys, people are quitting, right? Like it's wherever they go. It's almost like the Tasmanian devil. Remember that cartoon, the Tasmanian devil, and they're spinning. It's just a mess wherever they go. So you kind of got to buckle up and be prepared. But it doesn't mean you can't get divorced. You will get divorced, but you need to be prepared. And, just like everything, there's a spectrum. There's a spectrum of conflict. So it can be a high conflict divorce, but it might only be in one area. So let's first approach tips for managing your emotions. The only thing you can control is yourself. I actually have a sticky note in my office that says, what can you control? What can you control? That's it. You can't control the other person. And they shouldn't be able to control you either. So you want to first acknowledge your emotions. You feel like, insert your favorite expletive. You don't feel that great. You are angry. There are all kinds of emotions. Acknowledge them. Do not stuff them down. Okay? And the best advice I got during divorce was a reminder that emotions last for a short amount of time. They will pass over you. They come in waves. You gotta let them come. And if you sit with them, they'll eventually go away. It's true. It works. It takes some practice, but it's true. I also want you to look for the help from professionals. There is nothing like a really good MFT to get you through your divorce, to help you come up with ideas of how to manage conflict, to help you remember you are not crazy. What you're experiencing is crazy, but you are not crazy. So don't think that you can do this alone. And also remember, you can have that professional help, but if you can find some sort of divorce support group of, people of the same gender or people of the same beliefs or whatever commonality you guys have where you can talk about things, there is nothing like the comfort of knowing that you are not alone. It doesn't make your situation any different, but you don't feel crazy and you feel like, okay, they're going to get through this. They already got through this. I'm going to get through this. And just having an outlet to talk to people is so healing. Even if you don't say a word, hearing other people's story can be really healing for you. So please don't underestimate that, and please do not isolate yourself during this time. You want to stay calm and composed. right? Because if this is a high conflict divorce, the chances are they are waiting for you to explode. They are pushing all of your buttons because they're your spouse and they know every single button to push. And they're like a child in an elevator. They're going to just push them all at once. It's like in Elf where he just like presses all of the elevator buttons. That's your spouse. It's your high conflict spouse in a divorce. Okay. So you're going to have to maintain calm. You're not going to be perfect. You will probably explode at times. Forgive yourself and try again. Keep resetting. Find things that help you calm. Sometimes, a colorful game like Tetris will kind of help your mind get off things and it can calm you down. Also, some tapping meditations can calm you down. If you can't sit still for a long period of time because your mind is racing, do some tapping, go on a walk, whatever you need to do to calm down. Try some kickboxing, shoot. And you want to set boundaries, but here is the thing. Don't tell them you're setting a boundary. I mean, you might hear different advice, but when you tell people you're setting a boundary, one of two things. Most people are going to respect that, most people are respectful and you don't even necessarily need to set boundaries. But you set a boundary, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to say, oh, no, not with me. You don't set boundaries with me. You can set boundaries with everybody else around here, but not me. Or two, whether they say that or not, they think that. And so two, they're going to start testing your boundaries. And when you have boundaries, it is about things that you can control. You can't control them. You can control yourself. So don't announce your intention to set boundaries. Just do it. Okay. So what are some effective communication strategies? There is nothing like BIFF. BIFF. Brief, informative, friendly, and firm. This is Bill Eddy. His work. He's got several books on BIFF. You can look him up on his website. Look it up on Amazon. Especially if you have a child with this person. Look at BIFF for co-parents. Because boy, you will be able to respond to an email and a text and eventually just with the spoken word in a manner that shuts things down. It does take practice, but it really, really works because you're not addressing all of the crazy stuff they're talking about. You're keeping your focus on the issue. The other thing is this person can push your buttons. And what if they start recording you and you're flying off the handle? No. You want things in writing, whether that's text or email. Yes, it creates some sort of paper trail, but it also gives you time to respond instead of react. You can think about it. You can write a BIFF response and then go, let me reread this. Let me adjust it. Let me change it. Okay? And eventually they get the hint that the button pushing isn't working anymore. I promise you. I promise you it works. Do not expect a miracle the first time you try it. But the more consistent you are, the more the message that they'll get the message that you're not messing around with this. And remember, your actions tell the message, your words don't need to. You need to tell them, I'm using BIFF because you're a jerk and I'm not going to do. Just be like, thank you. I appreciate the communication. Our child will be ready at this time, at this place. See you then. Done. Short, sweet, simple. You need to BIFF that sucker. Okay. Also, I want you to think about your well-being. Your well-being. Because if this is a divorce that gets dragged out, your health may suffer. So you need to find things you love. You need to take care of you. The first place to start is your diet. When we are stressed, we eat like crap. But as you change your diet with just some fresh fruit, maybe you're not a fresh fruit and veggies person, start with some fruit. This is California. We got fruit all year long. Start with some fruit. Swap out the donut for some fruit. Okay? Or maybe have the donut and also have some fruit. Like you don't have to cut anything called turkey. Just gradually add that in. Your body will feel differently. And when your body feels better, your mind is clearer. Okay? So think about exercise too. You don't have to do anything strenuous if you don't want to, but going for a walk is good for your body, right? It's high conflict. You've had a hard marriage, most likely. You're going through a hard divorce. Why should your health continue to suffer when you've decided, I'm done with this person, we are moving on? So you have to be responsible and take care of yourself. And it's really hard to do. Give yourself grace and give yourself love. So give yourself that self-care where you're taking care of yourself. And when you forget, love yourself with grace and then try again. Remember, have that support system. Have people around you who you can talk to, who can shoulder your burdens. Don't just have one friend, have several, because there's divorce fatigue and your friends love you, but if they're not going through divorce, if they've never been through a divorce, it's hard to hear that stuff all of the time. And that's for anyone going through divorce. High conflict, not high conflict, doesn't matter. You need different supports, different people to support you. Otherwise, you will fatigue your family and friends. Okay? So, rotate your support system. Be organized so you have a record of what's going on, and really limit your contact with this other person unless it's necessary. You're getting a divorce. Here's the thing about conflict. Sometimes people prolong the divorce. They prolong the conflict because they are addicted to it. Because conflict keeps the connection to you open. And a finalized divorce closes that contact with you. Limit your contact. Do not engage with their conflict. You will get through this. Do not lose hope. You will be free. You are on your path to freedom. You can settle this divorce. You can be done. Guys, have a great day and leave me a question you want me to answer next week.